In the shadows of a great empire, there lived a young boy named Samuel. He lived in a small village, surrounded by lush green forests and rolling hills. Samuel loved to explore the woods and play with his friends, but there was one thing that scared him the most: the dragon. The dragon, named Luke, was a fierce beast that lived in a cave deep in the forest. Samuel had heard stories about Luke from the elders in his village. They said that Luke breathed fire and could destroy entire villages with just one swipe of his tail. Samuel had never seen the dragon, but he was always afraid that Luke would come out of his cave and attack the village. One day, Samuel decided to face his fears and go into the forest to find the dragon. As he walked through the forest, Samuel heard a loud roar. He knew that it was the dragon. Samuel was scared, but he didn't want to turn back. He kept walking until he reached the cave where Luke lived. Samuel peered into the cave and saw the dragon sleeping. He was amazed by the size of the dragon. Luke was bigger than any animal Samuel had ever seen. Samuel knew that he had to be careful not to wake the dragon. Samuel slowly tiptoed into the cave and approached the dragon. He reached out his hand and touched the dragon's scales. To his surprise, the dragon didn't wake up. Samuel realized that the dragon wasn't as scary as he thought. Samuel sat down next to the dragon and watched him sleep. He realized that Luke wasn't a monster, but just another creature living in the forest. Samuel felt silly for being so scared of the dragon. Samuel decided to leave the cave and go back to his village. He knew that he would never be afraid of the dragon again. As he walked through the forest, Samuel felt proud of himself for facing his fears. When Samuel returned to his village, he shared his story with his friends and family. They were amazed that he had gone into the forest to find the dragon. Samuel realized that he had accomplished something great and that he was braver than he thought. From that day on, Samuel would often visit the dragon in his cave. He would sit and watch the dragon sleep, and sometimes he would even bring him food. Samuel knew that he had made a friend in the dragon, and that he would never be afraid of him again. In the end, Samuel learned that sometimes the things we fear the most are not as scary as we think. All it takes is a little courage to face our fears and find out the truth.